I thought I had enrolled in an interesting course for fun. I didn't realize it was going to change my life. I had been struggling with office politics, but when I learned this concept, not only did I realize I was taking the worst approach, but that there was an option I could take that would almost guarantee my success. Today, I'm going to tell you what that concept is, and I'm going to help you use it to figure out how you should navigate office politics. The concept is game theory. It's used in both social sciences as well as mathematics to help us analyze and predict how people will make decisions when the decisions are based on what other players decide. Game theory applies to so many things that you encounter on a day-to-day basis, like dealing with a difficult coworker or negotiating your salary. For the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on the example of competing with a coworker for a promotion. There are a few key elements that you need to know about game theory so that what I'm about to tell you makes sense, and so that you can apply it to workplace politics to optimize your outcome of success. We've already talked about players, who are the individuals or entities that are making decisions that affect the outcome. In game theory, what we are going to be analyzing are strategies. Each player is going to have different options or strategies that they can choose from. In some cases, these strategies are going to be cooperative. In some cases, they're going to be competitive. From those strategies, we are going to have payoffs. Each combination of strategies are going to have a payoff for the players. These payoffs can be rewards, like getting a big pay increase or snagging that promotion. Or they can be penalties, like getting in trouble from your boss or getting fired. Finally, there is information. Game theory considers the level of information that each player has about the other and how it's going to influence their decisions. All that being said, let's go ahead and apply game theory to competing with your coworker for a promotion. Let's use game theory to analyze the strategy the vast majority of ambitious professionals use when trying to navigate office politics: to ignore office politics. La 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 la. The best case scenario when your strategy is to ignore office politics is to be facing another player, that is a coworker, who is also ignoring office politics. Now, while it is marginally possible that you can get a win when you're both using the ignore strategy, the better chances are is that there is going to be a third player that comes into play, which brings us to the next strategy, because now we're going to be dealing with another player, and that player is going to play dirty. They are going to be sabotaging you behind your back. They didn't tell you that they're also going for the promotion. They're using all of their positioning and all of their power in order to step on you, in order to get ahead. And if you've been in this scenario, you already know what's going to happen. You're going to lose. You are going to find yourself in an unwinnable situation where you are being pushed down and there is no defenses. This is obviously not where you want to be. But what happens when you use the ignore strategy with a coworker who is playing clean politics? So using the ethical strategies that I use in my new masterclass, Power Moves Mastery. Well, generally you're going to be taking an L here, but it's not going to sting as badly. Here's why. The player who's using clean politics is not stepping on you to get ahead. They're not trying to trash your reputation in order to secure the promotion. They're getting the promotion because they have the reputation, they have the relationships, and they have the influence while you don't. Now, across all of these different scenarios, when using the ignore strategy, we can see that chances are when you utilize the ignore strategy, you're going to lose. And when that happens, I know that most people default to the next strategy.
Dirty politics.
Dirty politics are the type of politics that you think about whenever I say corporate politics. Things like trying to undermine your coworker, take credit for work that you didn't do, or just say some nasty shit about them. For the purpose of our analysis, let's say that you would choose to use dirty politics. How is that going to play out for you? For the purpose of our analysis of game theory, we're going to avoid the fact that you would never use dirty politics because, first of all, they're gross, and second of all, no success is worth sacrificing yourself or selling your soul like that. Anywho, in the first scenario where you are using dirty politics and your coworker is ignoring office politics altogether, who's going to come up on top? It's going to be you. Is it going to feel good? Like we just discussed, absolutely not. But you are going to be the most likely to snag that promotion, and by the time that you are done with them, they might not even have any job security left. But obviously you would never opt in to play a dirty game when you have a coworker who is ignoring office politics. However, when you have a coworker who plays dirty, maybe you're making the decision to play dirty too. What's gonna happen in that case? Well, in that case, I'm gonna give you a 50-50 chance because basically this is a race to the bottom. You are both going to do things that you're not proud of. You're both going to get dragged through the mud and you are both going to suffer consequences to your reputation and your relationships at work. Will one of you get promoted? Yeah, so technically it's a win-lose situation, but personally, I would count this as a lose-lose because I don't want the outcome either way. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that in the comments though. Now, perhaps in this situation though, when you are competing with a coworker for a promotion, you think they're gonna play politics dirty, but maybe they're playing a clean game. In this case, if you play dirty while they're playing clean, well, in this scenario, you're going to lose either way. Even if you're the one who gets the promotion and technically wins, you sacrificed a lot to get there. And if this was the game you were okay with playing, I know you wouldn't be watching this video right now. You would already be on the fast track to CEO of the most toxic company out there. One of the biggest fallacies out there is the only two strategies when it comes to office politics is to ignore office politics or to play a dirty game. But that completely ignores the fact that there is a third strategy out there. This strategy happens to be my favorite one, and it is the one that I advocate for here on my channel and will teach you how to implement in my new workshop, Power Moves Mastery. I know that taking a clean play strategy to office politics is a novel idea to most of you, and I get a lot of confusion about it on my channel. The thing is, office politics does not mean that you need to drag anyone's name through the mud, push anyone down, or do anything unethical or icky in order for you to get ahead. In fact, when you're a clean player, you're focused on win-win scenarios and lifting other people up with you. In my opinion, this is the only way I want to win. But let's take a look at the payoffs based on what the other player does. Now, when it comes to getting the promotion and you're playing clean politics and your coworker is ignoring politics altogether, you are going to come out on top in that situation. But in this scenario, you're also not necessarily staging your coworker to lose. Are they going to get the promotion ahead of you? Most likely not. But their good name is not being damaged, and you might actually be helping stage them to get that next promotion as a shoo-in. But what about the situation where you're competing for a promotion at work against a sinister coworker? They are going to pull out all of their dirty tricks to try to get ahead. There is not a guaranteed payoff in this situation, but I would rate it at 75-25 for you versus your toxic coworker, especially when you've played the clean politics correctly. Here's why. Your coworker who is playing dirty office politics is going to try to sabotage your work. They're going to try to make you look bad. They're going to try to take credit for your work. But no matter what awful tactics they use, you are going to become immune to their attacks. Your boss and whoever else is making that promotion decision is already going to know you. They're going to know your work. They're going to know your impact. It is going to be undisputable. Even in cases where the decision maker doesn't know you as well, your reputation is going to precede you. That means any efforts that they make to tear you down aren't going to be believable, and in some instances are going to end up making them look bad. Most importantly, you are going to have the influence directly and indirectly to stage yourself for success. Which leads me to this scenario where the person that you're competing with is using clean politics as well. You are both playing the game aligned with your integrity and your values. In this case, it's a 50-50 chance of a win. It ultimately is going to come down to who has positioned themselves best for that promotion, but I truly believe that the long-term outcome is going to be that both are uplifted and both are successful as a result of how they are holding themselves at work. Based on this analysis, game theory tells us that the best way to navigate office politics is by using clean politics. No matter which strategy you decide to go ahead with, there are a few mistakes that 90% of ambitious professionals are making right now, and you need to avoid them. Go to this video right now to find out what they are.